It's the Beatles from the beginning to the end. It's their solo careers. It's their humor. It's their incredible music. It's the British invasion. It's their American adversaries. It's an historical musical education. It's the Beatles and a whole lot more. A Beatles fan's paradise. It's BeatlesArama.com. Tune in. You'll love it. Beatles-A-Rama TV is on the air. Yes, it is, and sorry for the delay. We had a technical glitch, but we straightened it out. And I want to welcome everybody. I'm Pat Matthews. You're watching Beatles-A-Rama TV, and we've been on for a few weeks now. And we've had some great shows. We've had Rogue Best, Pete Best's brother, on the very first show. We've had Bruce Spicer on, the Beatles author, and we had Lena Stagg and Jude Sutherland Kessler, also Beatles authors, the last show that we did. And, oh, I almost forgot, the Mona Lisa twins, which was our favorite show so far. But we're going to continue on and move ahead and bring you great guests. And today is no exception because I'm going to introduce you to the Walrus. That's right. And I'm not talking about John or Paul or any of that stuff. I'm talking about a lady who calls herself EMO. I guess I'm allowed to say your real name, right?
Emily, you can give it away. Morenz. You can let out the mystery.
Okay. All right. So welcome to the show. How are you?
Well, thanks for having me. I'm doing fabulous. How about yourself?
Oh, you know what we say back in the South is, if it was any better, I couldn't possibly stand it. So that's doing pretty well. You know what I mean? So yeah. So Emily, tell us a little bit about yourself, like what you do now and where you're from and that kind of stuff.
All right. Well, from Orange County, city of Orange to be specific, and I don't even know where to start. I do a lot of things. My life's pretty centered around rock and roll in general. I host a radio show at this local Costa Mesa station where I play all rare songs from the 60s and 70s and interviewed some people like David Crosby, Jefferson Starship, Mickey Dolenz, Ian Anderson, no one from the Beatles. Ringo, coming for him. I also host a week podcast about rock and roll history. Like I was telling you earlier, I just started a YouTube show also all about rock and roll history, and yeah, I collect vinyl. I have about 1,200 albums, and in general, I'm with rock and roll and the Beatles. Not to sound cliche.
Very nice.
Definitely my
Well, I'm much older than you, and I started collecting vinyl back in 1963. Okay, and well, then ironically, that was around the time of the Beatles, and I was in radio, and I amassed the collection. At one point, I had 15,000 vinyl records.
Wow!
The count before this last move, I had 1,200, like you did. Now I'm down to about 600, and half of those are Beatles and their solo stuff. Okay,
half of it.
Now,
oh my gosh!
When you said an Orange County station, I immediately thought with the emo thing, I said, KOCI, I've seen your name on their website. I'm good friends with the poor. I'm good friends with the poor man. I used to produce his talk show. So yeah.
Oh my gosh, no way.
Yeah. He and I go way back. We go back to his TV days. And when I was in TV at KDOC, and he was doing request video. So that was before your time, I think.
Probably. I've been around since 93.
Yeah. So since 93, and that's the year that we went off the air.
Sorry,
it was there from 88 to 93, and then that was the end of it. But so anyway, let me put this up there because people may have a question for you. Watch this. See?
Okay.
Questions for Emily.
Oh, cool.
Visit StreamYard.com/Facebook. And then StreamYard will ask to access your Facebook name and your picture. And that's all you have to do. And you say, okay. And then your comments will show, and I'll be able to see them and relay them to EMO. All right. So that's
Ask
the way
away.
that works. Okay. So tell us a little bit about your radio career prior to that. I mean, you worked for my favorite radio station in Los Angeles since I've lived here in 1987. And it was the sound of LA, and
That's
you
right.
worked there with all the big shots, with all the heavies,
Yep.
right?
Oh, they became my mentors, my just buddies. I miss it so much every day. It was the best job I've ever had. But yeah,
Was it?
so oh my gosh, it was because we worked amongst, these top radio DJs who have been around forever. Our bosses were the absolute chillest, coolest, and just funniest people. There was always random stuff going on, like people riding these miniature bicycles through the office. Our office was like way too nice for radio, I think, because we were up super high, right in what area is it? Just Wilshire Boulevard across the street from the LACMA, had a view of the Hollywood sign. And yeah, so I was in the promotion side. I started where I was on the street team and doing all the fun, going to events, giving away tickets, getting to go to the concerts too. So went to like hundreds of concerts during that time. And then eventually, because they saw how much I was obsessed with the station, I think I loved that station more than anyone there. But they started giving me other cool stuff to do. Like I got to interview Robbie Krieger. That was my first interview ever, and it was live and on video. It was so scary, but did that. And then they were gonna start using me for such cool stuff. They were actually gonna have Gene Simmons. That wasn't official, but they were working on having Gene Simmons face paint me on air for their morning show. But right when that went on, the morning show got canned, which was soon before the entire station got canned, which was so sad because it was the best station that just captured that, the true radio feel from back in the day.
Right.
Yeah, but then that led me to my current station that I'm at now, which also just really captures that true spirit of radio because DJs actually get to play whatever they want. There's no corporate guy that can shut us down whenever, tell us what to play, as long as our manager he hires DJs that he trusts. So then he's like, all right, do whatever you want. So yeah, I love it there.
My friend Craig also works there. I think he does just the Friday. What's that?
Yeah, Friday lunchbox. Love Craig.
Right.
It's a great team.
Yeah.
I'm the youngest one there by like years, but it's great.
Oh yeah. Well, I know how old poor man is, but I'm not going to tell you because he won't tell anybody. But I know.
I can't figure it out. I feel like he has one of those faces that could go either way on his age. So I don't know.
It depends on whether he shaves or not, I think.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your obsession with Paul McCartney. So it also, it started. Obviously, you're a big Beatle fan, and that's what the Beatles-A-Rama is all about, and what Beatles-A-Rama TV is all about. In fact, I'm working on getting Lawrence Juber, who was in Wings, to come on the show.
Cool.
And so, that's going to be a good time. So I got some irons in the fire, and as far as guests are concerned. But let me ask you. How did you start with this obsession of McCartney?
So let's see. It kind of just started with my obsession with rock and roll and then into the Beatles. I first discovered rock and roll in general from my brother when I was about 10 years old. He started playing guitar and, he's learning all the songs by the Rolling Stones and Zeppelin and Sabbath. And I would just hear this music and hear the CDs he was listening to. I was just like, what is this amazing music? So I started stealing all his CDs, and he had a lot of Beatles CDs too, and they just always stuck with me the most because I love them. I don't even know where to start, but one of the reasons why I love them so much is that their music can be played in any kind of moment, whether you're sad, you can find something. If you're happy and you just want to dance, you can find something. If you're mad, you can blast Helter Skelter, and that's a great way to let it all out. And then, and I was always a super researcher too. So I would just be on the computer all night long as like an 11-year-old, staying up till 4 a.m, just Googling things. And then I would watch their movies, and I just always felt extra drawn to Paul McCartney. I love his songs the most, and I just love his personality and his goofballness. And yeah, and his songwriting. I could go on and on. I just was, that's where my true heart was at. All members. I love them all.
And we must remind the audience that we're talking about the early 2000s, right?
Mm-hmm.
When all of this was going on in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So how old were you the first time you went to a McCartney concert?
I actually didn't go until I was a little bit older. I usually would get to go to like before college. I was my parents' money I was running off of. So I didn't go to quite as many concerts. I would go to like one big one a year. And then and I just feel like he wasn't really around during those days, or just I wasn't as focused on going to concerts. I was more just about listening and learning. And then but then as I got older and I got actual jobs, the first time I saw him was actually it was only like 5 years ago. It was 2015. So I was 21 or 22. How old am I? Yeah, okay, I was 22. And he played at Lollapalooza in Chicago. And I was a little beginner in the whole Paul McCartney concert world. So, and I wanted to be front row for the festival. The only reason I was going was to see Paul McCartney. So I thought, okay, I'll just show up. The gates open at 11. I'm going to show up just a little bit before 11. But I get there and there's this huge line of people already who are mainly staking out for Paul McCartney. And I'm like, oh crap, I should have spent the night here. So, and then the gates open, we all sprint. And so I ended up like between second and third row, which is still, amazing. And then that even just transformed the love of Paul McCartney just exponentially, because when you see him live and, his voice isn't exactly the same. It has a little bit of a croakiness to it, but barely. But the energy, and he, is in his late 70s, is insane. And he plays for over 3 hours, doesn't take a break. I don't know anybody my age in bands that can even do that, and it's just, and he's doesn't look exhausted. It looks like he could keep going all night long, and he plays all the best Beatles songs, Wings songs, his own songs. And I just remember just being so mesmerized. I wasn't expecting it to be such a, phenomenon, because I've seen a lot of the classic rock guys.
Yeah.
Some of them will have like these amazing, super high energy concerts, and some of them their age has gotten to them and it'll be a little bit slower. I had high expectations for Paul, but it just blew me out of the water, and it's so hard to put into words unless you've actually been there, because it's such a feeling. And I know you've seen him a few times, so you know what his concerts are like. And so from that moment I was just like, all right, I need to see him more, and I need to see him close. So then anyways, yeah, so that was the first time I saw him, just Lollapalooza 2015.
I had so you've seen him 8 times in the last 5 years.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yes.
So I had 2 pictures out. I had no idea when you had first seen him. So I rounded up two photos, and I'm going to show you the first one, but I don't think he looked like, this is how he looked when I first saw him in like 1990. Okay.
Okay.
You see that picture there? Okay.
I love it. Oh yeah.
All right. A little bit now I'm going to, like this. Maybe.
Yep. There he is.
There you go. That's right.
That's about it. But when I did see him, when I saw him 5 years ago, I think his hair was actually pretty dark, and I think he was just dyeing it at the time. But I think he's just let it
he had that now. He was doing that henna thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was and there were so many of his hardcore fans that didn't like that, and saying that he shouldn't do that he should just grow old gracefully. And I think eventually, I think Nancy Shevell is his current wife. I think she had a lot to do with him just forgetting about the bottle,
Yeah.
So that was always a good thing. Somebody sent a comment, and all it said was, "Hey Pat, awesome show." So they didn't have a question for you, but at least somebody's paying attention. So if somebody would like to ask you a question, this is what they got to do. visit StreamYard.com/Facebook and let them access your Facebook name and picture, because that particular comment that we had, it just said Facebook user, and those are no fun.
Thanks,
You know what I
Facebook
mean?
user.
We'd like to tell us who you are and where you're from. That's what we'd like to do. All right. So we have now. I hope do you have your shoes off today or what?
I've gotten so good. I always wear tall boots. It's my main form of shoe, but I've gotten really good at just wiping it off. So you need me to do that right now?
Well, not right now, because what we're going to do is let's watch the video of you on stage with Paul, and and we're going to tell you a little bit about what's going to happen in this video. You come on stage with your wingman, whatever her name was.
Alicia, best friend.
That's right. And then you get the autograph on your foot. And that was fun. Then you get a group hug, and then you get to dance a little bit.
Oh, so yeah. For 2 songs.
Let's watch the video. Well, we have part of the first song.
Perfect.
Okay. So let's watch that together, everybody.
We got tonight. We got something here. I'm Walrus. Are you real? I'm not. I'm just a lookalike. Okay, so what's your name?
My name is Emily, but everybody calls me Emo, so call me that.
Emo the Walrus.
Emo the Walrus.
Well, you know, I mean, the rest of us are kind of hot in here tonight, but I don't know what you like in bed.
Just a little sweaty. Just a little bit.
And is it true you sold your mini?
It is true, and it's also true that it was very, very worth it for this.
Come here, best friend. Hi, baby.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. What's your name?
Alicia.
Alicia.
I'm the sidekick.
You are? The walrus is mate. Okay.
The walrus is crazy.
Where are you girls from?
Orange County.
All right. So there you go. There's the very mini. It's lovely. And it's me with my Mini Cooper, yeah. And I sold mine too. I sold mine a little bit longer ago than you did. Hey girls, let's have a group hug. Come on. Sign your foot. Come on then. How are we going to do it? Right. You put it on my knee. Could you wipe it down, please? Oh, wait a minute. Sidekick and foot wiper. For a tattoo? Oh. Does your mother know about this? Mother hates tattoos, but she's okay with this. All right. She whispers to me, "Is there any chance we can dance for a song?" I've got a very short song coming up. You can just put your thing back on. Okay? There you go. I like that costume, by the way. Who made the costume? Who made the costume?
Amazon.com.
And they like flew it in on the drone, didn't they? Fly in on a drone.
It just appeared one day. Magic.
Came in a package. Yeah. Well, there's a plug for Amazon. All right then.
Oh, sorry about that. I thought we were in there already. Um, that's too bad. That was fun. So I don't know who took the video. Was it somebody you knew?
Wait, I missed the first part of what the sentence you just said. Can you repeat that?
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
guess.
I said was that that was fun. It should have lasted longer. Did you know the person who actually recorded it on their phone?
You know what? We just met from going to these Paul concerts, and all the crazy fans that include me. There's a whole crew, and I'm actually not nearly as crazy as some people. Some people go to every single show of an entire tour. I have no idea how they afford it and they're always in the front. It boggles my mind. I'm like, what do you do for work? That first of all, you can take off all this time, and you can afford to travel
That's
and get
right.
in yeah. So, anyways, it was one of
Yeah.
the people that we met who was also in the front, and she was the sweetest. She was actually, I think it was this girl. Her name was Dana. She's actually also been on stage with Paul McCartney a long time ago, and so she was just so excited for us. And she had a friend who had also been on stage with him, and yeah. So it was awesome because then I just got bombarded with people reaching out to me, and when I see most people that have gotten up on stage with him, usually their pictures are just kind of like these crappy iPhone pictures. But I had these professional photographers reach out to me that weren't even Paul's people. It's impossible to get a hold of
Hmm.
them. That sent me these amazing, just perfect professional camera pictures. And there was another video of me taken on a professional camera of the second song we danced to. And so, yeah, I got lucky. There got a lot of footage and a lot of pictures too.
Do you have any of these pictures, the photographs in frames?
I can show you something. Hang on.
Okay, show me because I was remiss. I didn't know about this. I could have asked Emily to maybe forward us the video, a better
My
copy.
mom
But
actually, my mom actually made this for me for my birthday. Let me try to get the view.
uh-huh.
It's like there was a newspaper article that came out about it, and it doesn't say our names, but it mentions us getting up on stage. We have a few paragraphs about us, and then here's
Hmm.
let's see, if I can get the right angle. This is the him in action.
Oh,
Setting.
that's him autographing your foot. Yes.
Yeah, I have a picture too. I don't have it printed, but I have a great picture because. So what happened was after like like you see in the video when I asked to dance and he goes, okay, we got a short one for you. We didn't care it was short, we get to dance with Paul McCartney. It's all I could ever ask for. So after Sergeant Pepper's, he looks at us and we're like, my friend and I are like, okay, we're gonna say our goodbye. And he looks at us and he goes, wait, one more. And he asks us to stay for another song. And then he starts playing Helter Skelter, which is,
Oh,
I think that's one of the longest songs he plays that like for his whole concert.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. He extends it to it's like 6 minutes or
yeah,
something. Yeah.
and it's definitely the jammiest one he does and the just hardest rocking. So we went so crazy. And then at the end of the song, he calls me over to the microphone like this, and then he goes on the mic, oh yeah, and then he puts it to me and I go, oh yeah, and we did back and forth for a bit. And then there's somebody got that on in a picture with us like arms around each other, like super close. I'm like singing on the
Wow.
microphone.
So, and then when you go off the stage, I mean, all these girls are like trying to grab you
Oh
to
my
say
gosh.
you touched Paul McCartney.
It was the most it was my 2 hours of just being a celebrity. It was amazing. I don't know if that'll ever happen again, but so we get off the stage. He just does one more song, and then the concert's over. We didn't even go back to our seats because it was just I didn't want to ruin my foot, because all the tattoo parlors were closed that night. I had to wait till the next day. But we're just getting flooded with people like, oh my gosh, that was so crazy, and I'm still in my walrus costume. And then and I was like trying to call my boyfriend and tell him that it happened. I was trying to call my mom, and we couldn't get any space at all. I mean, this is so not 2020 times, but we're just like there's actually a video that my friend even took of this whole crowd around us taking our picture. They had me sign autographs and things. It was like, what?
Have you
And then
have you ever washed the walrus costume since then, or?
you know what? I don't even know. I'm not the best with remembering to do laundry. I but I wore it one more time because I went to the Dodger Stadium concert, which was a few days later, and then I wore it again. And I was in the nosebleeds for that one though. But I had some people come up to me. And they're like this one guy. He comes up to me, he goes, "Oh, I love your costume. Did you hear about that girl in San Jose who was wearing a walrus costume and got up?" And I was like, I don't think so. And then I just whip out my foot. I'm like, oh, but
That's
but
yeah, that's a lot of fun. Hey, you know what? I don't know if people caught it in the video when you mentioned, or Paul mentions, that you sold your Mini Cooper to be able to go to that show, right?
Yes, it's a long story to explain. It wasn't directly for that concert. I just started
Okay.
reusing the sign, and I kept it. I didn't want to, lie. That's why the sign says I sold my Mini Cooper to see you. I didn't say to see you for that show. I didn't want to, I'm not trying to cheat or anything.
Okay.
But the story with the Mini Cooper is that, so I saw him in 2016 at Desert Trip, that big festival with the Rolling Stones, Neil Young, Roger Waters,
Yeah.
Paul, and Bob Dylan. That's just like my dream lineup. Those are all my favorites. And when that was announced, my jaw just dropped. It's like, okay, I need to not only go to this. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity, especially for, me missing out on the golden era of rock and roll. I was like, I have to be in the front, and I have to, and the tickets were insanely expensive. Even for getting a regular seat was pretty expensive, and it was, if you got standing, just regular standing general admission, you were so far in the back you couldn't see. And I didn't want to just get it. I wanted to attempt that time getting up on stage with him. So that is what I was already kind of having issues with my Mini Cooper, and I loved my Mini so much, though. I still miss her today, but I was like, okay, I will sell her and just take like the family car that we have, Subaru, to be able to go to this concert. So then I ended up getting the standing fit tickets, which is 100%. I've never spent nearly this, even for just Paul McCartney concerts, never spent nearly this amount of money on a concert, but I will never, ever regret that, because best weekend of my life, even just for all the other bands too. But
it was like going to a musical university there for you.
Oh, it was the most perfect weekend. Everything about it, even outside of the music, the people there were so amazing. Everybody was just a rock and roller. It's not like going to Coachella when it's just all these people there trying to take their outfit pictures for Instagram. It was just genuine rock and roll lovers, down to earth, awesome, fun people. And so for Paul McCartney, I was like, okay, this is gonna, because of my experience from Lollapalooza, since that was a festival, and I learned, okay, I can't just get there when the gate opens. I need to get there super early. So for Paul played on Saturday, and I was camping with my friends, so we were pretty close to the entrance already. I was almost just gonna spend the night at the gate, but people were like, okay, you don't need to go that crazy. Like, just get there.
It's like Woodstock,
Yeah,
that's going to be my own Woodstock,
Exactly. That's how I consider it. Like, that's the closest we could get to Woodstock, in the present. So I got to the entrance at 8 a.m, and gates were opening at 2. And then Neil Young, who was pretty much my second favorite probably goes Beatles, Rolling Stones, Neil Young. But anyways, Neil Young was opening at 6 p.m. So it was just like perfect day to be in the front row. So I got to the gate at 8 a.m, worried that still was late, and nobody was there. So I was like, okay, I'm the first one here. I'm going to get front and center. So, so I get to and then the only person there is a security guard who becomes my best friend for the day, because the second person showed up at 1 p.m. I got it, but better to be safe than sorry. So it was just me and the security guard hanging out from 8 a.m. till 1 p.m. And it's 98 degrees, by the way, no shade where I'm hanging out. But then by the time the gates are opening, there's a line of probably just like 40 people. But I'm still like, I gotta be front. Like, we're about to be racing, even though I'm front. People were being really nice, though. They were like, guys, let this girl, she's been here since 8 a.m. She's psycho. Let her get her spot. So gates open. I just like, and I'm in my Walrus costume. I have like posters, and I sprint so hard. And like, for the entrance to the stage that it was at was so far, and it's 98 degrees. I've already been sitting out for this long in the sun. I sprint so fast to the stage, and out of nowhere, this other guy, I don't even know where he came from. He was not in our line. He comes sprinting at like this angle, and he was in front of me now, and it really didn't matter. It's only 2 of us. We can fit, in the front and center, but the adrenaline of it was like, and he was pretty far ahead of me now. And then when we get to the actual like stage area, these all the workers start cheering for me, and they're like, "Go get him, girl! You can get him!" And I don't know what, like, how I dug up this more energy inside of me, but I like somehow found some, and I just started sprinting even faster, and I ended up at the last second getting in front of this guy, which again didn't really matter because we ended up both front and center. But then I grab onto the rail and I just pass out. Not pass out. I just like laid on the ground and I was just like, I need water. And the security guards just like start giving me all these water bottles. But yeah, so then I ended up front row, front and center for Neil Young and Paul McCartney, which was the best night of my life. Obviously, I didn't get up on stage that night. I had my like same signs, and I had another friend there who he wasn't even a part of the race, and he was still able to get right next to me. Just people were being really nice, and then anyways, so yeah, I didn't get up on stage, but he did give me a shout out, which at the time was the most amazing thing that had ever happened to me. He at the end of his concert, he's like thanking everybody, and then I scream super loud. He looks at me and laughs, and then on the microphone he goes, "And thanks for selling your Mini Cooper." And then
wow, gee.
Yeah, and then
and he remembered that. Wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So then I think it became this thing, and then his head security guard, as it all ends, he gives me Paul's set list, and so yeah, it was amazing, worth all that money, worth staking out all day, even though I didn't get up on stage, which I think it was just too big of an event. You know, it was 100,000 people in the audience, and so it was amazing. I had no complaints about not getting up because it was still the best night.
I have a quick story, Emily, that back when he did the Venus and Mars album in New Orleans, and that's where I'm from, and I was on the radio there. I called his people and invited him over to my house for red beans and rice, and they passed. They said he said thank you very much, but we're too busy.
Oh my God.
All right. So that was my brush with Paul McCartney.
That's amazing.
Not quite up there on the caliber of you, but listen, before we go, show us the tattoo from the signature. Now you did it with a Sharpie, right?
Yes, and then I had to sleep like, oh my goodness, I had to sleep. So we like stayed at our family friends that live around there, and I had to sleep so straight. I'm the type of person, I sleep on my stomach and I just like sprawl out. I had to be able to sleep.
You thought maybe you'd wipe it off, yeah.
And like, yeah, exactly. And I didn't want to put a blanket over it, and I'm a really cold sleeper, and I was freezing. I didn't fall asleep till 6 a.m, and then I woke up at 7 because I was excited about life and to tell everyone. Anyways, let me take
and headed to the tattoo parlor right away, right?
Oh yeah, the next day in Santa Cruz. All right, can you see it here?
Wait a minute.
This is a weird angle.
No, I can't see it yet.
I'm using my mom's iPad. I'm trying to figure out the camera.
Oh, wait, stop right there. Wait, oop. We had it there for a second. It's like on your close to your ankle, right?
You tell me when it's there. Do you see it? Is it upside down?
Yes. It's upside down, yeah. I kind of he's got a little heart, people going to just tune into this are going to say, what the hell's going on there? Wait, let's see. Go back. Go to your left. Wait. Move it. Hey, wait a minute. Move the camera a little bit to the left. Just your toes are showing right now. Well, listen. We see most of it, okay? What does it say? Did we lose your audio? Wait, hold on a second. Your audio went away. Your sound went away. Can you hear me? Your sound was turned off. I didn't do it, I swear. Yeah, I hear you now.
I think it was me from just fidgeting this whole thing so much. Here, let me see if I can stand on this chair.
Stand up on a chair without falling down?
There we go. Yes, look at that. There.
Okay, what does it say? What does it say?
It just says Paul McCartney. It says Paul McCartney, and then it's got a heart underneath it.
Yes. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And then
we've all seen his signature.
Painful spot to get. It's a very painful spot to get a tattoo.
Oh, I know, but was it worth it?
100%. And oh my goodness. Yeah, I knew it. And it only took like 10 minutes, and it was great because we're in this tattoo parlor, and everybody who's in there getting a tattoo is just dead silent, super serious, already covered in tattoos. And we get in there so excited, and we spend that whole 10 minutes just like telling him the story, getting so excited. We're being so loud in the entire place. and I'm like screaming out of pain. It hurts so bad, but so
Were they
worth it.
taking pictures of your tattoo while you were there? Anybody want to take a picture of it?
I don't think anybody did. I don't think they were really
Oh
they cared.
man,
Well, our
they
tattoo guy
missed their
was super
chance.
cool. Yeah, the guy who did the tattoo was awesome, and he was super into the story and stuff. But I don't remember if he took a picture. Maybe he did.
Well, Emily, listen, I want to thank you for coming on today. And what I want you to do is I want you to promote this.
I will.
And tell your friends to go to the Beatles-A-Rama TV YouTube channel. It should be up. If I get really ambitious, it'll be up in a couple of hours.
Sweet.
But thank you for coming on. It's one of the cutest, funniest stories I've ever done. So,
Oh,
okay.
thank you.
All
This
right.
was super
All
fun.
right.
Thanks
Well,
for having me.
all right. The pleasure was all ours, and I want to thank you for watching. And it's on Beatles-A-Rama TV on YouTube, and this was on Facebook and YouTube, and something called Twitch. Until next time, I'm Pat Matthews for Beatles-A-Rama TV.